Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. Kindly hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and also share this video. Today I'm going to make Afang soup. This soup is peculiar to the Akwa Ibom people and also the Cross Riverians. Now, I went to the market and I got the Afang sliced in the market because I don't know how to do this on my own. So I got it washed and sliced in the market. I also got the stockfish. I like to use the head for my soups and whatever I'm cooking. I think that it has more flavor than any other part of the stockfish. I also got some goat meat. I got the male goat. I always buy the male goat because it is softer, the skin is softer, and it doesn't take so long to cook. It doesn't even take long to cook because it's really soft and nice and the flavor is strong. I got that and I got it cut in the market. Now, the next thing I did was to get my afang blended. You can pound this using a mortar and a pestle, but I always do this in the market because I like to reduce my stress. But you can definitely do this with your mortar and pestle. Now I got home and I harvested my water leaf. You can buy this from the market and it can also be sliced for you in the market. But since I have this little garden that my kids planted, I got home and I harvested this. Now that's me picking out the flowers because you don't want pink flowers in your meal. I don't think there's anything wrong with it really, but I always take it out. So after harvesting this, I went ahead to wash this up. I washed it thoroughly until the water became clear. You want to do that because you don't want any sand in your food. So that's me washing the water leaf and making sure everything is properly washed. Now, when you cut it in the market, I don't think it is washed. So you have to come back home and wash it again. Yeah, so whichever works for you is totally fine. So I will do this until the water runs clear. I did this about 2 times. Some can get really dirty depending on where it was harvested, but this was not so dirty. So that's the first water, and this is the second one that's already running clear. So I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can cut your water leaf. The first is just using a knife and doing this manually. This is not my preferred method because I usually am not able to get all the tiny pieces cut, but then yeah, once in a while I do this. So ensure that you cut this into very tiny bits, as tiny as possible. I don't think it always looks nice when you see afang with stems of water leaf. So make sure to cut this as tiny as possible as this, or even finer than that. Now, the second way that I do this is using a food processor. You can just throw this into your food processor and use the chop function, and it will chop up everything nicely for you. Be careful not to overdo this. You have to watch it so that you don't end up with a puree. So yeah, so just I chop this up in the processor. This is what I usually do most times. So that is what you're looking for. Now, when I'm making afang soup or any soup with water leaf, I always rinse it because it can be slimy and you don't want your soup to turn out being slimy. It can affect the overall outcome of your food. So I always wash this to get out most of the slime and froth from the water leaf. So it's best that you do that. Don't just throw your water leaf into the pot after cutting. Try to wash it so that you get rid of that slime. Now, after washing it and getting rid of everything, this is what it looks like. It feels crisp on your hand, not slimy like okra or something. So yeah, this is what you want to achieve. Look at how it looks nice and nicely cut. Now, this is the afang. It was blended with crayfish in the market. I'm going to use some smoked fish. That's our stockfish head, some crayfish, and pepper. I'm using a combination of red and yellow Scotch bonnet pepper, and I'm also using palm oil. Now, this is our meat. After I have washed it, I'm going to throw this into the pot. After adding my meat to the pot, I'm going to add some crayfish seasoning. You can use beef seasoning if you want, that's fine. Now I'm going to add my pepper mix. That's my blended pepper, blended red and yellow pepper. Some people add onions to their afang, but I don't. The very first time I ever made afang, I added onions and the outcome wasn't good at all. It kind of tasted like it was soured. So I think I was about 13 years at the time. So since then, I haven't tried it in my adult life to see if I would like it again. I just have the bias in my mind that onions would not work for afang soup, so I don't add it to mine. But if you like, you can add it to yours. Now I let the meat cook with its own juice before I added more water. Afang soup always draws the water, so I like to add some water at this stage enough. The next thing is to add your crayfish after your meat is done, then add some palm oil. Allow this to cook a little more, then you add your smoked fish. Now, I always add palm oil in 2 stages. Even the crayfish, I add it at that stage and then I'll add it later in the end. So add your smoked fish, then you can now come in with your chopped water leaf. Add this and then allow it to cook for just a bit. And at this point, I'm going to add the second layer of the crayfish. This is optional. It's just something that I like to do because I like more crayfish in my soup. And also add a second layer of the oil. Now stir this and allow it to simmer just a bit. Don't let this cook too long. If not, it's going to become dark and you want your soup to be as fresh as possible. After that is cooked, add in your afang as the last. Some people would take off the heat at this point and just add this off fire, but I want it to be a little bit cooked, so I added it at that point and let the fire on. Stir this and combine it properly and adjust your seasoning. Make sure everything is on point, and then this is what we have. I'm going to finish this up by adding a third layer of palm oil. You can skip this. This is optional, but I think that this adds a beautiful flavor to the soup. And there you have your afang soup ready for you to dig in. Let me know if you like afang soup and if you would like to try this. See you in my next video. Bye, guys.